Hello and welcome to my channel learnophiles. My name is Ankush Chaudhary, and today in this video we are going to take a very important topic. Why Linux? Everyone in tech industry keep on talking about Linux, how great it is, how important it is. So let's see, why do tech people like Linux so much? So before I answer this question, why Linux, let's have a look at very basic facts about Linux. So what is Linux? It is an operating system just like Mac OS or Windows for our computers, or iOS and Android for our smartphones. So it is an operating system which help all the software which will run in our computer. So its main work is to allocate hardware and resources to the softwares which we are going to run in our system. Next is that where is Linux used? So let me tell you, even if you think you have not used Linux, most probably you have used Linux somewhere in your life. Like it is in digital cameras, it is in Chromebooks, it is in personal video recorders, it is in many places. If you are using an Android phone, let me tell you that Android is based on Linux operating system. So Linux is everywhere, guys. A lot of smart cars these days are having Linux under the hood. Let's have a look at some interesting stats about Linux. This way we will come to know what other places Linux is being used and how important of an operating system it is. All the top 100% world's top 500 supercomputers are running on Linux. Of the top 25 websites in the world, barring 2, all are running on Linux. 96.3% of world's top 1 million servers are running on Linux. 90% of all the cloud infrastructure is running on Linux. So all the cloud infrastructure, that could be Google Cloud, AWS, Microsoft Azure, of all these services which are out there, of them 90% are running on Linux itself. So we can clearly see that in IT industry everyone is using Linux. But why Linux is so favorite of IT people? So now we are going to look at some of the key features which Linux provides, because of which it has become so popular amongst all the IT people, and why you should learn Linux if you want to be good in IT. First of all, it is open source. How does that help? Because it is open source, that means that the source code of the operating system is available to anybody. So you can go make the changes you want to do in the operating system, and then you can make it your own operating system, a version of it on. It is like you can make your own ice cream sundae. You can mix different kinds of ice creams, different kind of toppings, and you can enjoy it whatever way you want to do. So that is why we have a lot of distributions out there of Linux. So there are different versions of Linux like Kali Linux, Ubuntu, Debian, Linux Mint. So all these different versions are there because it is freely available. You can create your own Linux. So there are specifically designed Linux distributions like Arch Linux or Kali Linux. So these versions are specially designed for a specific task. Like Kali Linux is very popular for people who want to get into hacking, and there we have specialized tools created over there in the operating system which can help you learn those skills. Next, it is highly secure. Why is it more secure than other operating systems? One of the reasons why it is more secure is because most of the big servers are running on Linux. So all the developers of those companies are constantly working to make these systems more secure and less prone to attacks. Also, because mostly Linux is used in IT industry, the user base of Linux mostly comprise of people who know much more about technologies, and they can act faster and quickly. They need not wait for people to tell them that things are not working. They themselves are working on those systems. They know if some issue is there, they quickly start working on it and remove any kind of issues if there are so. Next, it is flexible. How is it flexible? As we already discussed that there are a lot of versions of Linux operating system because of it being open source. So according to your need, you can modify it. You can even change the layout of the desktop. So many people say that when I am working in Windows, its layout is different. When I'm working in macOS, its layout is different. I get confused. I want to modify it. I cannot do it. I'm familiar with some other system. But in Linux, what you can do is you can design your own desktop completely. You can change any kind of thing. Okay, so this makes it very much flexible compared to other operating system where you have to stick with the kind of design and theme the company provides you with. Last is excellent support from a large community of users. So the huge community of Linux users comprise of developers and people in the IT industry. So they can help you at any point of time. There are forums, there are communities on internet where you can simply go and ask questions. If any problem is there, it will be solved very fast. So everyone is very helpful and people keep on coming to these communities. I have myself been on the receiving as well as the giving side of these kinds of helps. I hope that all of these points which I shared with you must have helped you in understanding in a better manner that how much Linux is used in industry and why it is used so much so. So it is very essential to learn Linux if you want to work in IT industry and want to make a career in it. It is a very nice operating system. The main point to know here is that to learn Linux, you need to mostly work in commands when you're working on servers, because most of the Linux servers do not have a UI and you have to enter commands and work in them only. So for that, you might need to put some extra effort in learning that, but it is worth it. So one more thing I want to tell you is that if you want to really learn those commands, you can get help from my course which I have created and uploaded on Udemy. So what you can do is go below in the description. Over there you will get a link to the Udemy course where I have posted it. Also, I have provided you with one link using which you can sign up on Skillshare and you will get 1 month of free trial of Skillshare absolutely free. So do check out my course on Udemy or Skillshare and also try out 1 month of free trial of Skillshare where you can learn all these different kinds of things, and there are a lot of other courses which you can check out. Thank you and bye bye.